Hello, this is going to be a quick video explaining how to generate variables and do some replacement in variables. I'm going to share my screen. Is it screen two? So um, we're going to use the COVID and obesity data. I'm just going to open that because I've already created that data set. And when we look at that data set, yes, I've got the merged variable, so I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to drop merge. Yep. So I'm going to create two variables. The first is going to be the number of deaths per 100,000 people before April 21. And the second is I'm going to, with the obesity data, I'm going to have whether states are low, in the moderate range, or high. So I'm going to create a kind of categorical variable, which is ordered. So to create new data, you go to data, create or change variable. So I'm going to create a new variable. And this is going to be that's deaths, let's say pre-April 21. Yeah, no spaces in that. And I'm going to use this create. And this is what I'm going to do now is, that where we have the equation, you do equal and then two numbers multiplied by each other. So I'm just going to click on variables. And so what I want is the sum of pre-April divided by the population. But I want to do this per 100,000 people. So I'm just going to put a bracket around that and then times it by 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, and then click OK. And then click OK. And so I've just generated that new variable. I'm going to look at it. So it's there. Uh, Now, it doesn't have a label, doesn't have a code book. So I'm going to say that's from COVID before April 21, 100,000 population, right? So that's my code book. Yeah. And that appears there, right? Easy to do. That's from COVID. All right. Now I'm going to create a new variable, which is going to be the, which is going to kind of look at whether the state has a high number of people with obesity, moderate or low. So the thing I need to do is I need to summarize the obesity variable. So let me go to obesity and I want additional statistics. And I'm going to click OK. So, oh, did I not click on additional statistics? I thought I did. There we go. Display additional statistics. And what we see here is, 25th percentile and 75th percentile. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just say, I'm going to create, you know, low obesity, low percentage, high percentage. And so, yeah, let's go about doing this. So I'm going to go to data, create new variable, and I'm going to go obesity oh, range. Yeah. And I'm going to fill this with missing data because uh, I'm going to use the kind of replace command to show you how that works. So I'm going to fill this missing data. And what we see is there's 15 missing variables generated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at states with low levels of obesity. So I'm going to say those with less than 25% of the population, those with moderate, which I'm going to say is between 25 to 30, and those with high levels of obesity, which would be above 30%. Okay, so I'm going to go to data and I'm going to go to this change content of variables. And so this is my obesity range, and I'm going to now say here. So obesity range, it's going to be based on if, all right, so I'm going to say one, if obesity is strictly less than 25%. So any state with fewer than 25% of the population that's obese will be coded one. Click OK, and then click OK again. And so there are two states which have obesity of less than 25%, not very many. Then I'm going to go to data, create, change. I'm just going to change this now. So it's going to be two, I'm going to code it two. If obesity is greater or equal, yeah. So 25 or above, and I'm going to use the little, and symbol. Obesity again is strictly less than 30. Yeah. So any state between 25 and 30% obesity will be, I'm going to say that's kind of my moderate group, and that's made 17 changes. And then I'm just going to do it this way now. Equals three if obesity is greater than or equal to 30. I mean, I would, when I'm doing this, I would normally type this. I wouldn't do it the way I've done it, but I would just type in this code. And so we see is there are 31 changes there. So that's the entire state. So I need to do a couple of things. These are numbers, but actually I want to do something with them. But I'm going to say, um, well, range for obesity in the state population, and I'm going to use this variable label. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new label, and I'm going to call this obesity range, no gaps again, and value of one is going to be equal to low, add value of two is going to be equal to moderate, add, and the value of three is going to be equal to high. Yeah, add, okay. I'm going to close that, and here I'm going to say obesity range. And what you see is this turns blue, right? This turns blue, so I can look at each state and see, you know, for example, that Colorado has low, and you see the number one is here, right? But it appears, because it appears in blue, it appears like a word. Just makes it way, way easier. All right, so I'm just going to now save that data, and it's going to ask me if I want to overwrite, and I do. And so I've created these new variables. Very easily done. Okay, I'll see you in the other videos. All right, bye bye.